Hello, yes, it's me, everybody's favorite oxygen thief, Arun, and yes, today is my birthday. Ignore the fact that I'm making this video one day in advance. At the time that you're listening to it, I should be swimming in Bali, not doing any productive work. Don't feel sorry for me. I'll come back to Singapore and I'll get back to work, okay? Meanwhile, you guys hold the fort. Now, I decided to make this video because I had a lot of things to say. I have a lot of pearls of wisdom to share with you because I really am wise beyond my years. How do I know? Everybody calls me a wise guy or wise ass, so I must be wise. So I have distilled 5 pearls of wisdom for you to hopefully guide you in life, even though I barely have much life experience, but I think that I am more sensible than a lot of the fools I see on Facebook who are all over the place, okay? So let's get on with it. My first point, and it's a very important point, after 40 years of being alive, I think that this is one of the most important points that you need to know. I don't think if get on with it. Okay, the point is this: always be yourself. Okay, let me repeat that again. Always be yourself. So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because we live in times where people are scared to say how they feel. They are scared to, make a joke because there are always people who are quick to get offended. Being politically correct has become a mental sickness these days, and it's reached ridiculous proportions. So let me tell you something. Do not care what other people think of you or what they say about you. Always be your authentic self. I can tell you for a fact that on my Facebook wall I post dirty memes, I post dirty jokes. I can't give a damn what people think about me or what they say. And because of this, a lot of people do like me, and it will also help you as a marketer because you will discover who you are and you will find your own voice. My voice is very, very distinctive in my emails. You just, anybody who reads it, most of the people, I win them over. I'm not saying this to brag. Okay, yes I am, but I win them over because there is nothing fake about me. I don't act like a baller. I don't act like, I know more than what I do. I don't act like I'm perfect. No, I'm just me. I am politically incorrect. I say inappropriate things, and I think it's the best way to be. Let me show you this video. Okay, see, this is Michael Flatley, and he's a Guinness record holder for being able to tap his feet, I don't know, like 25 or 30 times per second. And he is the creator of this show called The Lord of the Dance and Feet of Flames. He's a billionaire. This guy is a billionaire because of his dancing. There is nobody better than him when it comes to tap dancing. Nobody. He's the best. Okay, he's the best. And I want you to look at this. Okay, can you see him? He's going back and forth. Okay, across the stage. Pay attention to that. Now I want you to look at the size of the stage. Do you notice how wide the stage is? Do you know the amount of stamina that is required to get from one end of the stage to the other? This guy is a consummate showman. He's the expert at roping in the crowd and getting them hooked. Should people come to watch Michael Flatley? They don't come to watch this guy or that guy or any of the rest. They come to watch Michael because he's a lord of the dance. And he does this, look at that, okay? Him punching the screen and doing all these, excessive movements, which is meant to capture the crowd. He goes back and forth because this is known as stage management. So why am I telling you all this? Let's look at the comments. Look at this lady. Look at what she says. He shouldn't be punching around too much. And there's another lady saying, I don't know what. All these are critics. Now, if you asked these ladies to go and tap dance, they'll probably break their spine or fracture their toes or something. They do not know nuts about it, yet they feel qualified. to give comments and say that he shouldn't do this and he shouldn't do that. What do they know? They know nothing, and yet they are commenting. And this guy is at the top of his game. So if someone like him, who is at the top of his game, can get negative comments, then what more mere mortals like us who are not at the top? There will always be people who disagree. And your goal is not to please everyone, because you cannot please everyone. Just the other day I posted this picture here, the sexy lady, and she's saying, oh, the PLR makes me hot or something like that. I like looking at this lady and I thought it was funny and all that. And there's this lady that I totally do not know, and she came on my wall and said, oh, this is 50s marketing and women's rights bullshit and all kinds of nonsense, and she's going on and on about it. And when somebody comes and tells me that they are offended, or they have microaggression because of a joke, I aggravate them further. I have no qualms about pissing them off further, because I really do not care whether they're offended. I know who my target audience is. I am not trying to please everybody. You cannot. It's impossible. And I have noticed that those people who are easily offended are always the first ones to voice out their opinions and make you feel like you need to apologize for what you have to say, that you need to bend over backwards to please them. And my advice to you is do not give in. Be yourself, without worry. There will always be things that offend these people. You cannot win everyone over to your side. And they may say, oh, you are losing sales and all that. That's okay. You will always find people who do like you for who you are, and these people will be a very loyal following. You don't need some cuckoo coming and telling you this offends me, that offends me, microaggressions, this. You know what? Get a life. Stop being upset over every damn thing. I've seen so many people that's just scared to say stuff on Facebook. What do you need to be scared of anybody for? Say what you feel like. Be yourself and do things your way. When I was writing the sales copy for my PLR rewriting formula, I just wrote what I feel like. Today, my sales copy is one of the most entertaining, and there's nobody else who writes sales copy like this. If you have looked at my sales pages, if you have watched Stephanie's video and all that, you would understand that it's pure entertainment. I'm not worried about pushing buyer buttons and making people feel a sense of urgency and a sense of need and all this other copywriting bullshit. I just write the way I would like, to see a sales page. And if I were to submit this to a copywriting group, they would tear my ass apart and give me 5,000 different suggestions on how to change it. But you see, if I did that and if I followed them, then it wouldn't be me. And so I went ahead, and I can tell you for a fact that the sales pages convert very well. And a lot of people ask me, who writes your copy for you? And I say, hi. And they say, will you do it for me? I say, no, because this is me. I cannot write sales copy for other people, because I do not want my personality becoming their personality, if you get what I mean. This is my unique style, and I want it to stay that way. So don't feel like you need to follow the norm, that you need to please everybody, that you need to blend in. You don't need to. Just do what you feel like, say what you want to. Don't worry about being judged. Really, it doesn't matter. Once you understand this, your life gets a lot simpler. Trust me on this. My second point today is this: go for what you want, and don't have any fear of what could happen, what might happen, or anything. Back when I was 25, I had joined the airline industry, Singapore Airlines, and there was this girl from Germany, and because Singapore Airlines is a branch down there, and whenever there's training, they would fly their staff from different countries to Singapore to train them. So we'd all train together, and there was this girl from Germany who I thought she was so pretty. I had such a big crush on her. But her English sucked, and my German was worse than that. So I was hesitant to speak to her. Anyway, they sent us to this island. They call it the Outward Bound School, where you have to do obstacles and all kinds of shit, supposedly for team building. I can't remember any of it, but I remember what this girl looked like, and I was just crazy about her, but I didn't have the guts to talk to her. I was still young at the time. Now you don't want to know what I would do, but the point is this: when we were going back to Singapore, there was a bus to fetch us all back, and by pure luck, the bus was full. Only my seat was vacant, and this girl was the last one to get on the bus. Now, throughout these 2 weeks, I had seen her and we had smiled and all that, but I had never approached her. And finally, she came and she sat next to me on the bus, and I knew it's going to be a good 40 minutes ride. And I looked at her, and she looked at me, and I told her, I have been dying to talk to you. And I don't know if she understood it, but she burst out laughing. And we spoke the rest of the way. And the following day, I did take her around Singapore, but she had to fly off on that night. And she flew off. And a couple of years later, she came back to Singapore. And I was the only person here that she called, that she actually bothered to stay in touch with. And I thought, now's my chance. But I didn't do anything, and I did show her around. I brought her to the Singapore Zoo and all that. And I didn't do anything because I had no guts again, and I let her go back again. And a few years later, she came back again for training. And this time, we hit it off, okay? I'm not going to go into detail, but it didn't go that deep, but trust me, we hit it off. And she was thinking, oh, I can't do a long distance relationship. And she said, why don't you come to Germany? And every bone in my body wanted to go to Germany and be with this girl because I was crazy about her. But I was thinking, oh, I can't speak German. What am I going to do there for money? I'll have no job. And then there was the Singapore Army, and you had to get, permission from them to leave. And these assholes would not, easily give in. In fact, they hardly ever give in. So what was I going to do? And so, on the flight back, and she reached home, she said, I don't think we can do this. It's a long distance thing. I can't go through this. And I said, okay, fine. I guess it's just not meant to be. And I let that go. And a few years after that, again, she came back to Singapore. But this time I had a girlfriend. But I did meet her, and I was miserable because the girlfriend I was with at that time was an absolute bitch who made my life a living hell. And so when this girl came back down, I was like, oh, what a break. And when I met her, she was quite miserable too, because she was getting old. She's almost 30 years old, and she wasn't married, and she didn't think she would ever be. And we were just sitting down there looking at each other, our lives just sucking in front of us. And we told each other, I told her, you know what, if we are 35 and we are still not married and we are still miserable, let's just get married to each other. And she said, okay. And we made a promise that we would. And I was quite happy after that. And she went back to Germany again. 8 months later, she called me and she told me she was married. And a few months after that, she was pregnant and she has given birth to a child. So that's a typical Arun luck. But I was happy for her because life goes on. And I also ditched that horrible girl that I was with at the time. Just 2 days ago, this girl came back to Singapore for training, and I went to meet her. This is after 5 years. And I asked her, how's your marriage and how's your kid? And she said, oh, we're divorced. And I was like, what? Divorced? I said, yeah, my husband cheated on me. And I couldn't believe it because this girl, I really thought she's just so beautiful. And I said, what kind of guy would cheat on you? And it was a huge blow to me because I don't know why. And I was thinking, what if I had gone to Germany all those years ago? If I had the knowledge now that I, back then, I would have told myself, Arun, you can learn German. You can go there. I'm sure you can find a job, to survive for a while. And as for the Singapore Army, fuck them. Whatever they may say, they want to jail you, they want to, charge you and fine you and imprison you. It doesn't matter. You don't even need to come back here. But I was full of fear and I didn't go after what I want. And the worst part of it all, when I met her 2 days ago, my girlfriend was with me at the time, and I couldn't tell anybody this, but I was just, it really hit me that what if, and the best thing that I can tell you is go after what you want. Don't keep saying what if this happens, what if that happens, what if this, what if that, and with all the doubts, put them all aside, go after what you want. Because if you don't, later on in life, when you ask yourself the what if, that's going to be the most painful what if of the lot. What if I had actually just done it and gone after it, and you don't. So I'm still actually recovering from the 2 days. I probably, when I'm in Bali, I'll be thinking about this too, because I can't believe that the guy would cheat on her. This girl's an angel and she really looks good, and well, that's life. Let's move on to point 3. Okay, my third point is this: enjoy the pain. I know what you're thinking. It sounds sadistic. It sounds like something out of a Japanese porn movie, but it's not. When I say enjoy the pain, I mean this: when you are writing or you're making YouTube videos or whatever it is you're doing online, there will come a point in time where you are sick and tired of what you're doing and you will feel like giving up. And during times like this, when it's so exasperating, I just used a big word there, and you don't know what to do and it's so stressful, at times like this, smile and embrace the pain and enjoy it. Because if you don't, the pain is going to be too much to bear. Sometimes I meet people and they say they're going to exercise. I ask them, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going walking. I ask them, why can't you run? No, Arun, my legs hurt, my back hurts, my ass hurts. So what? Run. You can run. Enjoy the pain, and that's the only way you're going to improve. Your stamina will, build up over time. If you're going to always stay in your comfort zone, you're never going to improve, and you'll never make any progress. So what's the point? So enjoy it. Do more than what you are used to doing, and at times where you just cannot take it, smile and enjoy. There's no other way for you to get through these hard yards if you're going to complain and grumble and give up each time you face a bit of discomfort. Okay? And now my fourth point: repetition is the mother of skill. As a juggler, I cannot tell you how important this tip is. Whether you're juggling 3 balls or 4 balls or 5 or 6 or 7, and you move on to clubs, which is even more difficult because the object is spinning, and when you move on to fire torches, which is even more difficult because not only is the object spinning, but it's also on a fire and you need to catch it on the right end or end up burning yourself. The repetition is what gives you the skill to be able to execute what you need to do. It doesn't matter whether you're juggling or whether you're writing or whether you're making videos or paid ads or whatever the hell it is. You must repeat it over and over and over until you can do it without thinking too much about it. It should almost be second nature to you, and only then will you be able to work from the zone. And I know it can get very, very tiring when you are repeating the same thing over and over. And when at times like this, what do you do? Exactly, you enjoy the pain. You better be paying attention to what I'm saying. So repeat whatever it is that you want to get good at, and when you're repeating it, make measurable progress, in reasonable time. Don't keep doing the same thing blindly over and over. Try and get better and better and better at it. And if you can do that and repeat it over, you'll be just fine. You want to be a better writer? Write. You want to be, whatever it is you want to do, just keep repeating. You could be the dumbest ass on the planet, and I tell you, if you repeat it, you'll be an expert at whatever it is you do. I've actually found some videos, I'm going to show them to you, of people who are so good at their jobs. Actually, they're just inane jobs, but because you've been repeating them over and over, it looks like they are wow. But the point is this: they just kept repeating what they're doing. And if you apply it to whatever you are doing in your business, you will get good as them. Okay? And enjoy the pain. I've got good news for you. this is my fifth and final point, and I think this is the most important point of the lot. I learned it only when I was probably 36 or 37, which is actually quite good because there's so many people who go on to 50 and 60 and they still never get it. And the point is this: not everything in life that counts can be counted, and not everything in life that can be counted counts. And when I was growing up, I used to think the more money you had, the more weights you could lift at the gym, the bigger your house, the flashier your car, the more women you could sleep with, this is a big one for me, the better it was. But now that I'm older, I realize that whether my online income is 5,000 a month or 50,000, my lifestyle will pretty much be the same. You can only eat so much food. No matter how big your house is, you can only stay in one room at a time. No matter how many women you can get, at the end of the day, you can only stay with one at a time. And in fact, one is the best because there's only problems the more women you have, trust me on this. But the point is this: you don't need too much. And I see so many people online saying, oh, I want to earn 6 figures a year, I want to make 6 figures a month. And ambition is okay, but they stress themselves out and they get depressed and they lose sight of what really matters. And it's to be happy in life, to be at peace with yourself. I had a lady on Facebook ask me the other day, are you excited to go to Bali? I said nothing excites me much anymore. It really doesn't. But I am at peace, and this is priceless. I cannot tell you how important it is to be at peace. Nothing really perturbs me anymore because it's all small stuff anyway. So the point is this: aim to have enough to be comfortable and enjoy the journey, but don't be so focused on your ambition that you forget everything else and you neglect your kids, you neglect your health. And I see so many marketers online, they are hooked to the computer from like morning to night, struggling to make money. And what are you doing? Don't sacrifice everything just to get 6 figures a year or 6 figures a month. Most people don't even need 6 figures a year. 70,000 would be good enough for a lot of people. 50,000 might be good enough for many people. So just because the gurus are saying, oh, I made 180,000 last month with my e-commerce site, doesn't mean you have to do it. Because a lot of them are miserable. I see there are marketers who commit suicide, there are marketers who are depressed, people who lose their way, they don't know what the hell they're doing. So I see it all the time on Facebook. Be simple, lead a simple life. It's okay to be, to strive and earn as much as you can and all that. Just don't lose sight of what really matters. You only have one life to live. Don't spend your whole life chasing after money, and when you finally get it, you realize you don't have much life left to live, or you have wasted so much time along the way, and you have gotten the money but you have sacrificed everything else. Okay, that's all. I sound like I'm preaching, but I can tell you this: once you attain peace of mind and you lead a simple life and you are happy with what you have, it doesn't really matter whether you make 6 figures a month, 8 figures a month, or anything, because you will be at peace and you will be in a far better position than all these gurus that you see who constantly feel a need to display their earnings and all that. You will not need to do any of that because you will know who you are and you will be happy with your own life. I wish you all the best, and thank you for wishing me a happy birthday even if you didn't, and I'll see you when I get back.